These two men are not walking into a match. They're walking into a collision. A collision of power, of legacy, and of something new that hasn't fully revealed itself yet. On one side, Brock Lesnar, a name that doesn't just represent dominance, it represents destruction. And on the other side, Oba Femi, a rising force, a man who hasn't reached his peak yet, and that might be the most dangerous part about him. Now, people keep asking the same question: who wins? But that question, it's too simple, because this match is anything but simple. When you talk about Brock Lesnar, you're talking about a man who has already done the impossible. He walked into WrestleMania and ended The Undertaker's streak. Let that sink in. A streak that stood for decades, broken in one moment. And from that moment on, Brock Lesnar was no longer just a competitor. He became something else. Something bigger. Something that people don't just fight. They survive. So when someone says they're picking Brock, it makes sense. It's not bias. It's not hype. It's history. It's proof. It's knowing that when the lights are the brightest, Brock Lesnar shows up different. But then, there's Oba Femi. And Oba doesn't walk in with history like that. He walks in with hunger. And hunger changes everything. Because when you're hungry, you don't think the same way. You don't hesitate. You don't doubt. You just go forward. And that makes Oba dangerous in a way that stats and experience can't measure. Now, if you look at this fight on paper, everything points to Brock Lesnar. Experience? Brock. Power? Brock. Big match moments? Brock. But fights like this, they're not won on paper. They're won in moments. One opening. One mistake. 1 second. And everything flips. So what happens if Oba comes in fast? What happens if he hits harder than expected? What happens if he doesn't feel the pressure? Because that's the thing about new fighters. Sometimes they don't feel fear the same way. And that makes them unpredictable. But then again, this is WrestleMania. And WrestleMania Brock Lesnar is not normal. That version of Brock? That version is focused. That version is locked in. That version ends fights. So now you've got two completely different forces. One built on years of dominance, and one built on pure momentum.